Hey everyone, welcome back for our afternoon session, My Solo 401k Financial. We're here live on our YouTube channel. We're also on LinkedIn. We're on Twitter. We're in our community, mysolo401k.net/webinar to find the links. We're here to discuss a great topic today, which is how there's still time to open up an account and make contributions for 2024, all types of contributions. Just going to verify that we're live on our YouTube channel here. One second. Just going to verify that we're live on our YouTube channel here. One second. Just going to verify that we're live. Sounds like we are. So that's wonderful. If you have questions or topics that you want to discuss, we will love the engagement. So please don't hesitate to chat over questions or topics, and we'll definitely go through your questions and topics. So let me make a note of that here in the chat. So please. But we want to kick it off with some prepared content, specifically the deadline to open a solo 401k for 2024. If your self-employed business is taxed as a sole proprietorship or a single member LLC, independent contractor, right, where you're reporting income on Schedule C. So we definitely want to take time to go over that conversation. So to kick it off, though, let's go through our typical disclosure. The presentation is being provided for educational purposes only. It should not be construed as tax, legal, or investment advice, nor as a solicitation. When making an investment decision, please consult with your tax attorney and financial professional. We would encourage you to please subscribe to the YouTube channel and hit the notification button so that you can get notified, because we do go live twice a day. And we also host a lot of deep dive conversations as well. So it's a great way to come and ask questions or hear what other people are asking. For example, it's contribution season. So we've been hosting a series of deep dive discussions, A to Z, everything there is to know about solo 401k contributions. And they're broken out. We have one session, for example, for S Corps and C Corps. We had another session last week for sole props and single member LLCs. This week we'll have content geared towards multi-member LLCs, tax as partnerships. We'll also be going through deep dive discussions later around mega backdoor Roth, solo 401k. We'll be discussing the magic number. So we'll have sessions around that. In other words, how much income one needs to be able to maximize contributions for all the different business types. So there's a lot of great content on the horizon. So please subscribe and you'll get notifications. And then we do go live twice a day, once in the morning at 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern. We're back again in the afternoon at 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Eastern. If you go to mysolo401k.net/webinar, you can always find the schedule and you can submit your email. That way you'll get an email later with a link to the recording if you can't make the live session. So today, we want to focus on businesses that are taxed as sole proprietors, single member LLCs, income reported on Schedule C, right? It could be like a 1099 NEC independent contractor. So for those types of businesses, if you don't have any non-owner, non-spouse, full-time W-2 employees working for any business owned by you or a spouse, if any, you're going to be eligible to set up a solo 401k. So solo 401ks are for owner-only businesses. Now your spouse can participate, your business partner can participate. It's still going to be considered a solo 401k. You just can't have any non-owner, non-spouse, full-time W-2 employees working for any business owned by you or a spouse, if any. So you don't need a formal legal entity, right? Like as in the topic today, right? We're focused on businesses that might be taxed as a sole proprietor, or it could be a disregarded entity like a single member LLC, could be an independent contractor. The key is that you're reporting earned self-employment income with no non-owner, non-spouse, full-time W-2 employees. There's no minimum amount of earned self-employment income you need to be able to set up a plan. Your spouse or business partner can participate as long as your spouse or business partner are also reporting their own earned self-employment income, such as their own Schedule C. You can have a solo 401k even if you have a W-2 job, even if you participate in your W-2 employer-sponsored plan, as long as you got that separate earned self-employment income. So now the question is going to become, okay, well, can I set up a solo 401k and make contributions for 2024? Well, the answer is yes. There's still time. So what is the deadline for a business taxed as a sole proprietor, an LLC taxed as a sole proprietor, right? Independent contractor who reports income on Schedule C? Well, there's different deadlines depending on what type of contributions you're looking to make and when you're looking to make those contributions by. So to preserve the ability to make the most type of contributions with the most amount of time, the best approach is to set up a plan by the end of the tax year. So if you want to make contributions for 2024, if you did sign up with us, even if you haven't opened up accounts, etc., but if you did sign up for our plan by December 31st, you would have preserved the ability to make all types of contributions, whether employee, employer, or voluntary after tax, by the business tax return deadline, including extension here in 2025. So that's really your 1040 deadline, because we're talking about businesses that are taxed as a sole proprietor with income reported on Schedule C. So in other words, April 15th, or if you file a timely extension for your 1040, October 15th. Now, there's a special rule under Secure Act that gives sole proprietors or businesses taxed as a sole proprietorship more time to set up a plan and still be able to make all types of contributions. So here we are in February 2025. So there's still time here in 2025 to set up a solo 401k and make 2024 contributions, even employee contributions. Now, if your business was taxed as an S Corp or a C Corp, or just not taxed as a sole proprietorship, and you didn't sign up by the end of last year, you could still set up a plan and make employer and after-tax contributions, but you missed out on the ability to make employee contributions. That's why I said, though, for businesses taxed as a sole proprietorship, there's a special deadline. So you can still set up a plan here in 2025 and be able to make all types of contributions for 2024, even employee. So employee, employer, and voluntary after-tax. But if you didn't set up the plan by the end of last year and you want to be able to make employee contributions for 2024, you need to set up the plan in time to be able to make those contributions by April 15th. In other words, no extension. Now, if you are only interested in making employer and or voluntary after tax, which is how one makes mega backdoor Roth contributions for 2024, you can actually still set up a plan even until the extended deadline. You can still set up a plan and make contributions by the extended deadline. So October 15th, if you file a timely extension for your 1040. So this is a helpful chart as it lays it out as far as what your options are. So that's great news if you weren't able to meet the deadline. So why would someone want to set up a solo 401k? In other words, what are the top solo 401k benefits and features of our plan? Well, number one is fast account setup and funding. So we prepare the documents within the same business day when someone signs up. And we're totally neutral as far as where the accounts are at. So we have helped customers open up accounts at hundreds of different banks and credit unions, different brokerages like Fidelity and Schwab being the top two options. Now, Fidelity is the number one choice for our customers. And I would say a big part of that is because they've migrated now to an online process, which is much more streamlined and faster to open up the account. So accounts are being opened up in as fast as one business day, and you can fund it with a wire. Fidelity also offers more contribution options than the other brokerage firms out there. I mean, ultimately, we're totally neutral. We'll help our customers open up accounts at the bank or brokerage of choice, but just to share that feedback. So contributions has got to be one of the top options. It's definitely one of the top reasons or use cases why someone would want to set up a solo 401k plan with us. And what's great about our plan is that you have the benefit of flexible contribution options. So what I mean by that is you can make not only pre-tax contributions, which have the benefit of reducing your taxable income now, but you can also make Roth and mega backdoor Roth contributions, which have the benefit of tax-free growth. In addition, with our plan, you can process in-plan Roth conversions. Earlier today in our morning session, we spent some time talking about those in-plan Roth conversions. So that's where you are moving money that's already in a retirement account from a pre-tax status to a Roth status. So a solo 401k plan has the highest contribution limits for any defined contribution plan available to self-employed individuals. As we just discussed, there's still time for businesses taxed as sole proprietors. Could be an LLC taxed as a sole proprietor or an independent contractor where you report income on Schedule C. There's still time to set up a solo 401k plan and make all types of contributions for 2024. For 2025, the limit is even higher because it goes up with inflation. So now it's the overall limit $70,000. If you're age 50 or older, it's $77,500. And if you're age 60 to 63, with the new super catch-up contribution limits, you can contribute, if you have the income to justify it, as much as $81,250. And we had a deep dive session. That's another example of the YouTube content that we're bringing every week. A deep dive session talking about those super catch-up contribution limits. So if you subscribe, you can get notifications of all of our deep dive content as well as all our daily Q&A sessions. We go live twice a day. So what are some of the other top benefits and features? Well, low cost solo 401k, which allows you to preserve your funds, for example, for making contributions. We have a totally flat fee structure. We charge $650, which includes the $525 establishment fee plus the first $125 annual fee. There's no asset under management fees. There's no, you can get a free brokerage account. Fidelity, Schwab, they'll open up an account. They don't charge anything to open the account. There's no maintenance fee. They even offer free online trading. The brokerage firms even offer a free checkbook. Our plan was the first plan to be eligible for the tax credit. So setting up our plan will make the self-employed business eligible to claim $1,500 in solo 401k tax credits, $500 a year for 3 consecutive years. So if you set up the plan here in 2025, the individual will be able to start claiming those credits when they file their 2025 tax return. And then again for 2 more years, as long as they maintain the plan. So that tax credit, that's a dollar for dollar reduction in one's tax liability. So it's going to cover more than 7 years of our fees. In other words, if you add up our fees for the first 7 years, it doesn't even equal $1,500. So it makes it super affordable, free for the first 7 years. You can invest in what you want. That's another top use case or benefit that our customers are seeking. So not just stocks, bonds, mutual funds, but also FDIC insured CDs, true alternative investments like real estate, private stock, crypto, precious metals, private placements, notes. Easy to use. We talked about already how Fidelity has an online process to open up accounts. In addition, Fidelity has built payroll integration with a number of top providers like Gusto, ADP, Paychex. And through those payroll providers, you can set up automatic recurring contributions, automatic recurring 401k loan payments, which takes me to another great feature, which is the fact that our plan allows for solo 401k loans. So that's where the solo 401k owner can access their funds without having to pay taxes or penalties, as long as it's, number one, documented as a loan, which we handle the loan documentation requirements for no additional charge, and paid back according to those terms. It's got to be paid back in monthly or quarterly payments, equal payments of principal and interest. The interest is prime plus 1% or a CD rate plus 2%, with those payments spread over a 5-year term. There's no credit check. There's no approval or underwriting process. There's no loan fees from our perspective. So it's very fast, affordable, and like I said, it's not going to be subject to taxes or penalties. So those could be used for an emergency purpose or really any purpose. It's not limited to an emergency. Comprehensive compliance support. So that is included for the plan as part of our flat $125 annual fee. So that can include just rolling over additional money from, say, a former employer plan or an IRA, mandatory plan updates and amendments. We proactively reach out to our customers to handle that. Form 5500 EZ and Form 1099R preparation and electronic filings included as an optional free service. In other words, no additional charge. Loan document preparation. We provide all this support via phone, via email. We host these twice per day office hour style Q&As. We have the largest community of self-directed solo 401k investors. We've got over 30,000 members. We have active online forums. We have a library of educational videos, webinars. We have the industry's first chatbot, which you can access quickly, to answer questions and find resources at solo401k.ai. So just to continue to paint the picture from the perspective of the customer, why would someone want to use our plan? Well, number one, you've got the frugal investor. The tax credits is going to more than cover the fees for the first 7 years. The Roth maximizer. So our plan allows for mega backdoor Roth, allows for in-plan Roth conversions. It allows for employer contributions to be made as Roth contributions. And we're very hands-on in helping customers with the mechanics of making those contributions, educating them on the contribution rules. We provide the compliance support. For example, when one makes a mega backdoor Roth contribution, it's going to be a reportable event. It has to be reported on a Form 1099R, which, as I mentioned, we handle as an optional free service for our customers. The large account holder, once the value of the plan exceeds $250,000, there is an informational tax filing requirement, which is referred to as Form 5500 EZ. We handle that as an optional free service. In other words, no additional charge. And we do that through the electronic filing system just to make it easy for the customer. The alternative investor, as mentioned, you're not just limited to typical brokerage type investments, but customers can also use our plan, and they do it regularly to invest in all types of alternative investments like real estate and crypto. The rainy day investor. So if you think you might need access to those funds, our plan certainly supports being able to take a solo 401k loan, and we handle the loan documents for no additional charge. As I discussed, the plan now qualifies for a tax credit. So that's going to more than cover our fees for the first 7 years. All right, let's go to some questions. Thank you so much for bringing the questions. All right. So which of the brokerages that allow for non-custodial investment only accounts still offer check writing privileges? Fidelity and Schwab are your top places that are going to still give a checkbook. Good question. And of course, you can have both a bank account and a brokerage account. So that's a common use case. Someone might be looking to invest in brokerage type investments, but also diversify into alternative investments. So may want to have a bank account just because now they'll have access to things like a certified bank check, debit card, the ability to ACH funds easily in and out of the bank account for their solo 401k. And then the individual can move money between the bank account and brokerage account, say pre-tax bank account to pre-tax brokerage account, Roth bank account to Roth brokerage account. And that's not going to be taxable or reportable because the funds are just being moved between sub-accounts within the same solo 401k. Thank you for bringing the good question. We appreciate the opportunity to discuss these topics, so please don't hesitate to chat over more questions. We definitely appreciate everyone taking time to join, and feel free to ask questions. As mentioned, we love the chance to engage. This is what we want to talk about. Thank you. Well, please don't hesitate to subscribe. You'll get all the notifications. We'll definitely be back tomorrow at 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern. Back again in the afternoon at 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Eastern. We've got a bunch of deep dive content on the docket. We'll be back this week, for example, with our A to Z discussion about solo 401k contributions for multi-member LLCs and partnerships. We've got a lot of other great content on the horizon, like the mega backdoor Roth discussion, the magic number discussion. In other words, how much self-employment income one would need to be able to maximize contributions, whether it's pre-tax versus Roth, etc. And again, you can come twice a day and ask questions, hear the content that we want to share. So, all right, take care, everyone. Thank you so much for the participation. Until next time.